You're not in there. I took you out.
I'm Jerome Kilsmall, and I'm from Porcupine, Evergreen, and I lived where spiders live now, way back in the corner. There used to be a log home, but that's no longer there. My grandma passed away, gave away everything, and except the roof of the home and the water pump. When I went home, that's all there was there. It's very lonely to see that all gone. But now I live in Utica, South Dakota, which is on the other side of the Missouri River. I bought a home there because there's only 120 people there. No churches, no gas station, no grocery store. We have a post office. That's good enough. So it's really, really quiet. And I have many, many animals. So I have a fence so they could be outside all they want. There's no city ordinance against animals or nothing. And that's why I picked that place. I love my animals and I have to have a good home. If it wasn't for them, I probably would have moved someplace else. It's all for them. And so I love animals very much. And I got to see one's eyes before, not my birth. I have parrots, but I saw a hawk's eyes one time, or just one side of his eye. Because I saw a bird on the road with the wing waving in the wind like this, windy and dead, gone. And it had a red tail hawk, wanted the feathers for a fan. So probably a jingle dress dancer. Nice. I hit my brakes, backed up, looked around, nobody around, I got out, opened my trunk, picked up that bird, hang in there, put it in my truck, and just as I was going to close it, I looked and it seemed like it fluttered its eyes. I wasn't sure. So that was coming back from going east from the mission after Founders Day powwow. So I stopped that winter, had some water. After Cologne, going east, at an approach, I stopped. I opened the trunk. I got a dog water bowl, filled it with water, and I put it here. And I got that hawk and put its whole head in there. And it started to drink. And then it fluttered its eyes and its eyes opened. And then it stood up. So I got a blanket. I was going to make a good bed for it. So then it jumped up on the deck lid right here. It's standing there. A semi went by, and when I looked, we looked directly into each other's eyes, like really close. I could see the intelligence and the depth way in. And then it flew away. And it went away. So I was able to see, and I brought back a bird to life. It's a miracle. It made me feel worthwhile. It made me feel I have a friend. He probably remembers me or doesn't. That's okay too, just as long as he lived. So throughout the prairies, that way I see things and I save them. You save things, so if you experience the real, and especially life, giving life back, man, that's awesome to me. And it's memorable. And I think that's what's important when you're writing something is you want it to be memorable. You want it to have future readers appreciate whatever it is that you attempt to present to the world. Our generation, your generation, mine, they'll be talking about us when your grandchildren and theirs and say, when Grandma and Grandpa they told us a long time ago that there was a light in the sky and it stayed there for many months and it was going by. I don't think anybody knew about it, but my great-great-grandpa remembered that looked like a star, but it might have been a comet. But it'll come back again, and they call it the Hale box. And I found out that they were able to also, during their time, see the Halley's Comet way over there in the west, along the horizon. That comes back every 80 years. So I told you about it, so you're going to say, Mr. Kilsmo told us that he saw Halley's Comet. And now we see it, and how old am I now? Oh, I'm 76. So, well, when did that come back? Back in what?
84.
Huh?
84, 85.
No, it was 05 or 06.
Yeah, it was recent.
Haley's Comet.
Haley, yeah.
It was visible because we used to see it.
Yeah. Well, I saw it. You know.
Yeah, I think it was 05 or 06.
I think it was in 2005.
Huh?
I think it was in 2005.
Oh, you don't have your phone?
Well, I was remembering what comet did I see
Can I look it up?
when I was 5 or 6
Right.
then.
Can I look it up?
Go
Can I
ahead.
look it up?
Go ahead.
Halley's Comet. Halleys. So that's memorable for me. I read about it, so somebody wrote about it. Of course.
It was visible even in the day.
Uh-huh.
It was, for 1 week it'll be right there, the next week it'll move right there.
So
They said Halley's Comet, or the last time it was here was in 1986, and it is projected to return in 2061.
okay, you're right.
2061.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the Hale Bob.
The hell ball?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that one.
That's another comet. Hale Bob. That one takes more years, like hundreds of
Hale
years.
bomb? Hale what?
Hale, Halebopp. Separate words, two separate words.
Oh, Hale bomb.
Yeah. Anyway, you could equate your, then, what I'm saying is events that happen around in your lifetime, you see, experience it, and then somebody in your family would experience the same thing. And that's what makes our lives memorable. I think I'm using a really bad example because these are far away from each other's. But the easier ones are like our month words. Like July is Black Chokecherries month. And we're going to see that again. And so it's comforting.
Last time I was here was in 97.
Okay. Yeah, that's about right. It's predictable, and it makes it comforting because you know it's going to happen again. That's what makes Lakota, the circular life, comforting because you know it's going to happen again. So you plan. You plan. And so in your writings, you can write the Black Chokecherries month, and the next month, of course, June, July, and then August then you would say, whatever happens for that summer event, like Wasutkonwi, the seeding month, October harvest month. You go on to October, then November, then you have another word for that month that would equate to. What I'm saying is Mother Nature is the dictator or the boss of what happens throughout that whole circle of months. And so when it's predictable, then it's comforting. We know it's going to be spring. Ake wetu. Like right now, it's wetu. What happens wetu? At wetu, like right now, our month. In the old days, they had to welcome the children that were born over the winter, and also the old people that were still made it through another winter. We count our years by winter. So I would be Wikshimna Napchiunka, Wanietu Haimunamakicha, of 70 years old. And so if you're 80 years old, Wanietu Shagaloha Hainamak. Napchiunka, 90 years old. Shakomi would be 70, that's me. Wanietu Mashakomi. So that's how we count our winters. So if you're 20, you say, Wikshemana Numpa, and 1 year to Numpa Hanama. I'm 20 winters old. So they had ceremonies for them in the past. And my grandma and my grandpa who raised me had the ceremony. They had the welcoming the children and welcoming the elders ceremony. And they did it north of Kyle, close to the Badlands. I was told those rocks are still over there in the circle where they had the sweat lodge and where they set up their teepees to have the welcoming the spring ceremony, which welcoming children and the elders that made over another winter. Vermilion, we started welcoming the children ceremony, so that Wasewakpa community, the town of Vermilion, the native families have a welcome back to children ceremony in the spring. It's probably happening right now, even as I speak, because they do it in March. They have that ceremony, and they kept it going. And so it's good, because I tell stories like this. They did it where I went. So what I tell, they do is my grandma and grandpa had a welcome in the spring ceremony. Guess what? They're doing it. I didn't know that my words would carry so much weight. But people want to do things that are real. And that is really comforting to know that we can welcome some little kids, little babies born over the winter. We put them with their parents all in the center in the circle, and we give them star quilts. We give them star quilts, and we feed them first. We bring food to them to eat. Well, we take them to the table, put them around the table. We feed them first, and everybody gets to eat. But we celebrate their life. We celebrate the little baby's life. Yeah.
Just the other day, we went up to Arnie Peak for the welcoming the Thunderwings.
Yeah, I heard about it. Oh, it's all over, even in newspapers. I heard about it all the way to Vermilion.
Happens every year.
Tamara told me about that. They were going from here over there. So a lot of important people were there. I heard all the ones that were absent too. I heard about all the ones that were absent. So Russell Eagleburg wasn't there, they said. Well, he's busy over there at the pipeline camp. That's where I'm going on Tuesday. Then I come over here next. I'll be back over here. In the home of the Thorpes.
Okay.
But listen, I'm gonna put this on the board so you guys don't forget. So I forgot to do it in all the classes, but let people know.
So all the circle of people, we share like month seasons and all of that. The Dakota, Washusta Kechawi would have been April. And then the strawberries are ready one. And so March, right now, it's same as Dakota's Lakota. Ishtawi Chayazawi, the sun of the hurting eyes. And it's because the sun is at an angle. And it's really bright. This morning when I was driving, I had to put my visor down and put my cap visor down. I couldn't hardly see the road. It was so bright. I was going right into the sun in the morning. That's when I knew that road from Rapid City to Oglala was east. Because the sun was coming up. So we share a lot of the words in the Lakota nations. So we once lived in a way that we could recognize one another's locations, regions, regional, we say. So east was the D-speaking people, the D. And along the Missouri was the N-speaking people. And way in the back, that's us. Chatkuta was the us. The Tipestola Othomahe. Contraction T-Thomahe. It means we live in mobile teepees. Tipestola Othomahe. That's the long version. And Wachpe Othomahes, Wachpe, or the white people say Wapatan. Wachpe Othomahe. The village in the leaves. They were in the forest lands in Wisconsin, Minnesota areas over there. They lived in the trees. So that's what they Wachpe. And lived in the trees. And then we have Sisi Othomahe, the dwellers by the lakes. And Sisi, meaning they had the fish scales along the shores. Sisi Othomahe. And then we had Wachpekute. We had the shooters in the least. So they must have hunted in the forest. So they must have got moose and elk, bear. People give me bear grease because I use it. And they hear about it. Different places I go, they give me a gift of bear grease. I went to Omaha and this man gave me bear grease. Said, I heard somebody say you always use bear grease. I said, yeah, I do. He said, here's some for you. I got one that was already mixed, bear grease. And so it's a good thing to have with me all the time. But so those are the regions and of the 7 council fighters, we say. Ocheti Shakoin Afghanan. And we're way back here, so we didn't have contact till later with the movement of the white people coming west. They didn't reach us, so we still have our Lakota names. Kill Small, obviously, American horse. They didn't change them like Williamson, Chamberlain, Jones, Moore, Eastman. That's all Dakota because the government, Theodore Roosevelt's reign, he assigned Charles Eastman to go to those villages and change names to white-sounding names so they could easier get land and they had to have churches and promise to be Christians. So all of that happened over there. They didn't reach us, that's why we didn't change our names. extreme contact over there with Presbyterians and early missionaries that came to teach the language. I have no qualms about that. I'm not opposed to it because they saved our language. They wrote it. I have a document of the Santee. It's about horse carriage, and it's only in Dakota. And the missionaries wrote it at Santee Normal School so that the children could study out of it. Horse carriage. It's only in Dakota. I have a copy. It's translated now because I was asked. I wasn't hired. I was asked by a relative to translate it, so I did. And that's Steve Emery. He's my Kahashi, so he calls me Chie, older brother, so I'm older than him, so it probably doesn't say Kahashi more, it says Chie. And his father and my father are really close, and that's how we're related to him. And he calls me a relative. And he's married to a cousin of mine, so he's related to me anyway. He's married to a Halahar, and so that's how that works. Kinship works that way. He's from up there. He's from Standing.
Michelle's work study students report to the admin office. Michelle's work study students report to the admin office.
So different of the council fires were still interrelated, even with the language and songs. How songs, Sundance songs, we share. The melodies are the same, and even it reaches the Arapaho and Shoshone. I heard some of our songs sung in their language. So they must have come to our Sundances and took the melody home and put their words into it. So I know we share a lot of spiritual things with other tribes, with these gatherings. You know, we had huge gatherings. They're still going on. That's these powwows. Those are gatherings. They had huge ones in the past. And when Custer was defeated, that was a gathering. They had one there annually for ceremony, and they still do. The Crow Nation powwow has a powwow there where all the tribes go. And so there's still gatherings that go on. But they were there for spiritual reasons, so that's why they're gathering. With so many people, and here comes the 7th Cavalry, walking right into Now, what I'm saying about the gathering, and it was a spiritual gathering, is out of my oral history from my grandparents. They were going to go pray up there as they do every year. That's why they were all together at that time. And they do things at a timely time when everything is ready, ripe, and ready to be picked and harvested. That's why I always, if a young man asks me if I could put him up for his vision quest around Leche, I always say after July. Because you have to have cherries for one of the spirit food. One of your foods is choke cherries. And also, you can save washtunkala over the winter because you need the corn wasna as one of your spirit foods. And also the papa, the dried meat, one of the spirit foods. And if you're honoring or praying for a elder, then you use kidney for your first food, fourth food. You use kidney. You could fry it and chop it up and then use it as your fourth food. I like raw kidney.
Tastes good.
In Thunder Valley, they had it over there. You put it by the fire, you chop it up. It's a Lakota test, right? If you don't eat it, you must not be Lakota. you say, Tomaski Lakota. Lakota test right here. Anybody see Dances with Wolves?
What is Dances with Wolves? Not sure. Yeah.
Should want to go about you. Okay, those that didn't see it will inform you. There is a scene where they went on a buffalo hunt, and Lieutenant Dunbar was the first one to shoot one of those buffalo. So he got the first kill, so they cut it open, got the liver, and handed it to him. He has to eat it raw. It's a delicacy for the Lakota. It's an honor. He's Dunbar. He ate it anyway. He may believe he enjoyed it because he wants to be one. In Vermilion, when that movie came there, it was free for the Indians. These were all in line. It was free. We went in here, all the white people are on this side. All the Lakota are on this side. Movie theater. Where am I going to sit? Because my wife's white. She looked at her, she looked at me. She was sitting in the middle. She nudged me like this. So we sat down on Lakota's side. A good woman. Anyway, that scene, I don't know. This side of the theater, this side, yuck. Now the cultural difference. Good one. Where's the camera when you need? Oh, one of these when you need. Anyways, yeah, the Santi were there. The Battle of Little Bighorn. A lot of the different console fighters were there. When there's extreme need, we all come together. And that's how we are, you know. It goes with recognition too. You know, recognition. I'll give you an example. A big office building, they have the elevators. So this one woman gets on this elevator, and this man gets on the elevator. They're both on the same level, way up in the skyscraper. They're right together, never talk to each other. They're respectful, and they both get up. Thank you. Yeah. You get back on, go to work. And you need to come back down again. Quiet. He gets up. So they're starting to never talk to, they don't know each other's names, but they know each other's. They see each other all the time. Well, one day down there in the lobby, one of those thieves came and she wasn't looking, and this thief stole her purse and started running. And this guy saw it, and he chased it and tackled it. I hadn't brought that purse back. I said, thank you. I had so much money in there and stuff. And she said, what's your name? My name's John. She said, what's your name? So now they formally met. But it was because of that recognition. They were almost like relatives because of riding together and not knowing each other. So there's an X there. Their relationship is an X, the unknown. I'm related to you somehow, but I don't know how. That's why I don't talk to you. And so it goes that in algebra you have an X, the unknown. But you have to work it out to find out what this X is. The same way with this couple who are riding together up and down. They finally, by an incident, got to meet, shook each other's hand, and he said, "My name is Bobby Johnson. My name is Rhonda Wilson." Wilsons? Are you Wilsons from St. Louis? Yes, those are my uncles. We're related to them. So that's how they started to find out that they're related all this time. They didn't speak to each other. But that X filled itself in. That's what you work at when you're working on your problems. How am I going to make this X manifest itself? How am I going to make it real? How I made my life real with math? I make drums. Hollow drums and drums. I developed a way to invent the frames. And I was at Thunder Valley. I said, "Geez, how do you make the frames?" So I said, "That's easy. 36 and 36. So what do you mean?" I said, "There's 360 degrees in a circle. If you use 36 laths, then it's 10 degrees for each lath, 5 degrees on each side. You put them together and you get a perfect circle." I said, "I have a wood shop, but I never thought of that." I said, "Yeah, you get 36 laths and there's 360 degrees. So you divide 36 by 360, you get 10. So with that 10, you put 5 degrees on one side of the lath, 5 degrees on the other side. You put them all together, tighten it down with wood glue. There's your drum. It doesn't take an hour." I said, I sell my drum frames for $200. That's 1 hour work. But I don't give my secrets unless they're very, very serious about working out these problems and making it useful and making you rich. I don't do it for a business. I just do it when somebody needs a drum frame, then I make one and go deliver it. So you can just have it. So I don't do it as a business. Why do you think I don't?
Money's not important. And
No, I'll be paying taxes. I don't want nobody to document my activities. That's why I just give it away. I don't want nobody documenting what I do because it's too valuable. But somebody can, somebody could entrepreneur it up. Pay your taxes, pay on it. Figure it out. Geez, if I sold 10 of these, oh man, that's 3,000 what? And a portion of that you save and pay out of that. You got a wood shop? There you go. You make little, because you could thin them. Or you can go 15 of them, make a smaller so you have your wood ceremonial drums. When I make my ceremonial drums, I use 16. But I have to use a jig for that. So that's, I'm just telling you about the usefulness of our education. Because you're going to say, where is this going to come in handy? What I write down, where is it going to come in handy? Oh, it will. It'll come in handy more than you could think. If you have to document your historical activities for your land, who was related to who was who. So you have to have stories behind it. I'm related to her through this and through that. I'm related to them through this. And I'm related to Mrs. Tobacco by historical themes. I didn't know it until we talked. So that X filled in, that unknown. So it worked.
Go check your cup.
She was married to Pooh, young man afraid of his horse's son. And Pooh is my uncle. And so I'm related to her by marriage.
I have 4 sons that are young and
So that's how I'm related. Her son's by blood. So that would go in my history book too. So I could know my family tree. When you know who all you're related to. It's comforting to know that's your home if you know who all you're related to are from that area. Even when I go back to Marty, South Dakota, it's part of the council fire once again. Mostly all the connoisseurs are my relatives, and there's a whole bunch of them, and they know me over there because I'm around over there presenting for diabetes, for the elders, storytelling for Lake Andes High School, storytelling for Brave-Hearted Women's Society. All of them. I know people. Are there any questions? This, what I'm saying also is kinship is really important. And I think Lakota, that's how we got so far into the 21st century also, is we really are relative orientated. Drop of a hat will be calling each other Kahashi or Jephashi or Lekshi. There's a lot of young men call me Lekshi. Even in Marty, South Dakota, and Lake Andes, they call me Lekshi because I see them so often that they're like a kin, they're like my relatives. I'm in a powwow circuit, I see, and so I see powwow people just in the summer, just about every weekend. And when I sing with Earl Bullitt up north, when he comes down, our drum group fills up because they want to sing with us, all those young ones. So it's good to see our Lundau Seaboy. He comes over and sits in. And Kevin Red Buffalo. David Arrow. Those are all from different reservations. Standing Rock, Sisseton, Yontuan Nation. So even in our 21st century, the 7 council fires, we really share. We really share our ceremonies and powwows and all of our activities. Some of the activities done through the 7 council fires, we still practice our 7 sacred rites too. The last time I was at the Old Man Afraid of His Horse's powwow grounds at number 4, the last time I was there, I went with Earl Woolhead, and we went with his sons, and we sang over there. But they asked me to do a sacred ball game over there. So it's a good thing I had my deer skin ball with the buffalo hair inside. That's what it has to be. Good thing I had it with me. I had my arena directing bag with me. So I said, okay, I'll do it for you. And so they had a giveaway for this little girl. So how do you do a sacred ceremony, throwing the sacred ball? So we don't know how. So I said, well, I'll do it for you. So I had Earl sing the prayer song for the little girl. I blessed the ball, and I blessed all her giveaway items, and I smudged all her giveaway down. And then I told her parents to pick the 4 best gifts that they had there. And I said, take them to the center. The 4 best ones, the most treasured ones. And then to the west, from in front of those gifts, I put the little girl and blindfolded her with the handkerchief. handkerchief. And then I had the singers sing a song for a girl, the giveaway song. So I turned her around 4 times. I stopped her and I gave her that ball. And I said, throw it towards where you think the people are sitting. So she threw it and somebody caught it over there. So I said, roll the ball back. That's what you're supposed to do, roll it back. So they rolled it back and I went and picked it up. Stay this side of the arbor. So she stood there. And then the family went, gave her a gift, put it in front of her. Then I faced her north, turn around 4 times, give her, throw it again. So she threw it, next gift, and then east, and then south. We did all the directions. And then I said, finish that same song just 1 time up. And they did it, then I untied it. Now, see who all you gave the gifts to. The reason why we do this is, if this family had hard feelings for that person that got the gift, you don't think about it that way today because it's this girl's special day and we don't want to have hard feelings for anybody. That's why we blindfolded her for the gift. So she turned this way, saw the gift in this way, and that way. And then I told her, I said, now you could pick gifts for whoever you want to out of that one. Just pass them on. But the first 4 is for that sacred ball game. It takes away hatred, takes away bad feelings for all the people who are there. And it makes the little girl pure that she didn't think bad about anything while she did this very special giveaway. So we respect the whole circle that way. That's why these ceremonies are so valuable in our 7 council fires. Some of them don't do that anymore. But when I'm at a powwow and they ask me to do things, I make sure I'm ready. I take everything necessary that you should have at a wachichi. So little kids, most little dancers, they will come running over. Grandpa, do you have duct tape? I said, what color? Well, my backpack right here, all full of stuff. A lot of things. If I say super glue, you got super glue. Supposed to. I carry things, and a lot of times people ask for batteries for recorders. I always carry gum. So I pass out gum to the seniors so they have their mouth moist. Yes.
What was that ball? Kaha and
It's a deer.
a deer?
Deer.
Deer kaha?
Deer kaha. Worked real good, you know. Soft. And then buffalo hair inside. Some people beat them. You know, some people beat them. Mine's just.
They did that at our Sundance this summer.
They did?
And they had all the guys, all the kids, all the women. Then when they threw it up to all the guys, this guy jumped up. Some guy boxed him out and he went flying off to the side. As soon as he caught it, some guy kind of bumped into him and he went flying off. It was crazy.
It's really sacred.
Yeah, sacred.
Is that different from the ball ring ceremony for the boys?
Yeah. Anybody who asks for it. Yeah. But mostly it's when for the little girl when she has her giveaway for women coming of age. Usually that's when they do that. But I saw it done for a lot of other people too. So. They want me to do that at the memorial for the Zephyr family in 2017. They told me 2 years ago, so they're getting ready for 4 years. And they're gonna have a massive giveaway. They want that done. And I say you have to pick somebody to do that, do the blindfold. So they were picking somebody already. So I go over there and visit them to tell them what all to be ready for. So I visit with them. So they can be ready. Any questions? Any more questions? Did anybody here almost go to sleep? Raise your hand. I'm supposed to put you to sleep. Lakota storytelling, that's what we do. And because it used to be done at night, so people could go to sleep. That's why some stories we tell it over and over, because somebody might have fallen asleep the last time. So we used to have people, we bring elders back to our home. They stay with us for maybe 2 or 3 nights just to tell stories. We used to go get Bessie Hartall. She was a storyteller in our community. So my grandma would have somebody go get her and she'd stay with us for 3 or 4 nights sometimes. She sits on the edge of the bed like this. That's a sign she's ready to tell stories. And that's a sign after this, they have to blow the lamp out. All the lamps, bedtime. So she sits like this. Whatever is valuable to you, go give to her. Maybe a nickel or a dime. Back when she was telling stories, a dime was very, very expensive. So she sit like that. Put our little coins or some kind of beadwork or something. Put it in her hand. Then she gets her little bag, she puts it away. She said, oh, we'll sneak it, blow the lamp out. Then she starts telling stories. We'll hear stories, sometimes fall asleep. But that's what she was. She was a traditional storyteller. Yep.
Can you tell, let's see if they're still awake, can you tell the story about the chili that you told earlier in one of the classes?
Oh, yeah.
The phone
Earl Bullitt called me in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock in the morning, says, hey, hola, I learned how to make Lakota chili. You did? I was getting ready for a recipe. And he says, I said, okay, how do you do it? You take his blanket away. I said, you mean you called me 1 o'clock?
Well, at least they're still awake. That one class, I don't think the kids got it.
Yeah,
Tamara,
flew over her head.
Yeah, these got it. I wanted to tell you I didn't get it till much later.
Well, Jerome told me that one before.
Oh. You got it right. Tell me, Elsie. George, tell me. CHILLY. Take the bottle away.
I called my friend over in Alaska. I called him, hey, John, I know how to make Eskimo roast. I said that to him. He said, you take him to Orlando, Florida, right? He said, because it's really cold up there.
Yeah.
Down there, they'll be roasting. He knew the answer right away.
Is that the guy that we met when we were down?
Yeah, the little Eskimo.
Yeah.
I
Really short.
said, geez, it was hot and he had Eskimo clothes on. I mean, like the flannel shirt and the thick pants and boots. I said, over there, it's hot in the brand iron. He said, hey, could we go to a store someplace? I'm going to buy some t-shirts or something. They buy some shorts too. We walked and walked and walked, and we got to a grocery store, a clothing store. This is Orlando, Florida. We don't know our area. We just took off. So you better look at the street signs where we are. You're lost. We got downtown. He's just ready to pay. He had his t-shirt. Hey, those really look little. I said, so let me look at them. I said, where'd you get these? Because I knew they weren't going to fit him. I said, right over there. I said, that's the kids section. These little tiny t-shirts.
And you guys found your way back.
Yeah. We saw a sign, and I think it's out of Japan. Kobe steak,
Oh, yeah.
K-O-B-E.
Have a great
$400. Thank you. Because they raise them expensive.
Really good.
They massage them all the time.
Yeah.
And they give them beer.
Do they? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I missed that part.
Kobe steak.
It's Japanese. That they treat those cows really good. They feed them really good, and they let
They
them
massage the meat.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
welcome. I'm glad you came.
I always help trying to get the students to laugh, you know.
Yeah.
I know this thing, because I'm a New York.
Yeah.
So we